Krishnaji, when you say feeling the whole, there's a lot of energy behind those words when you say them. And I'm reminded about what you've said about we're not being serious about the deeper issues of life. And relating that back to what you're saying, feeling the whole. Perhaps the reason we don't feel the whole or can't even think about or move ourselves to feeling the whole is that we're not serious about the deeper issues of life.
So it's not a question of feeling it. That you can imagine you're living in a whole. A feeling of wholeness of life. But one has to, and what does wholeness mean? To be whole implies not living a life in which there is no fragmentation. Business life, artistic life, poetic life.
A unified life.
Life is one. And we have broken it up. Broken it up professionally, as in career, psychologically, and religiously.
It goes back to thinking again in
a
fragmented way of...
So thinking has produced this world. No question about it. The marvelous cathedrals and the things that are inside the cathedrals, which are considered sacred. But it's the invention of thought. All the Roman structure of hierarchy is the invention of thought. So, that instrument, which is thought, has produced this world. The chaos, the wars, the thought has killed, right? So, that instrument is no longer valid, which very few will accept. It's not valid, because it's worn out, it's producing problem after problem. The politicians try to solve one problem. In the very solution of that problem, they're increasing multiple problems. The scientists are doing the same.
But there are well-intentioned, sincere, dedicated people who see the problem and feel that there are solutions that can be had by thinking.
Thinking. That's just it. So, that instrument which human beings have used for thousands of years is worn out, is no longer valid, is no longer worthwhile, because we are in a both outwardly and inwardly, we are in a great crisis. Economically, socially, morally, in every way we're in a tremendous crisis. And all this is brought about by thought. And if we once see that thought, which human beings have used, is no longer the quality of strength, is no longer valid, you keep on repeating that word, then we must look to another instrument. Is there another instrument? Or is man condemned forever to this way of life, which is brought about by thought? I don't know if you see this clearly.
Yeah, it's very clear.
So, is it possible for human beings to find a totally different dimension of an instrument which is not the product of thought, which is altogether different? If I may point out, one says it is possible. There is such an instrument. Not the scientists, the biologists, and the doctors are dividing the brain into left and right and all the rest of it. After all, so look at it this way, or put it this way. we have used knowledge as a means of achievement. And great many philosophers and biologists say man will ascend through knowledge. Abramovsky and others have said step by step by step. That's called evolution. Evolution implies time. Time means a movement which is thought. Time is thought. And time as evolution, time as thought has not solved a single human problem. Psychological problem. It has solved problems of communication, problems of travel, and so on, so on, so on. But psychologically, inwardly, knowledge has not changed man. He has been what he has been for the last 50,000 years or more. And we say, give me time, we'll change. Time may be the enemy of man. I don't know if you're following all this.
Yes, I'm following.
So, is there another instrument which will radically, psychologically change the human, not only the human cells in the brain, but also fundamentally psychologically? One must question it, which means one must doubt the validity of thought, right? And see its place in the technological, in the world of communication, so on, the world of business, so on. And psychologically, has it any place at all? We think it has. That's the illusion we live in. Because we want security, right? Every human being wants security. The greatest intellect and the poorest uneducated person who doesn't know how to read or write says, give me food, clothes and shelter. I don't care for anything else. I don't know, we have lived in poverty. We know this. So, is there security in the things thought has created?
There doesn't seem to be security there.
Beg pardon?
There doesn't seem to be security in the things thought is created.
No, it's a fact. In nationality, there's no security. In the whole invention of, by thought of the churches and religions, there is no security there.
Sometimes we fool ourselves into thinking there is.
That's right. So is there security in the things that thought has created? If there is no security there, is there a security that is irrevocable, unchangeable? One says there is. But to find that out, one must move away from the whole time process.
So one has to move outside of time.
Yes, not scientific fiction time, but time is brought about by thought. Yesterday, today and tomorrow. Yesterday is all the accumulation of million years.
Genetic memory.
That's memory. That's tradition. That's what I've been told, programmed. I'm a Catholic, Protestant, or a Hindu, Buddhist, all that kind of silly stuff. So, is there a move? Is there an instrument, a way of living which is not the way of knowledge? It is, when you put it that way, it sounds crazy. But after discussing with you just now, if one understands the limitation of knowledge, and therefore limitation of time, therefore you cannot possibly look to time to change, which is called evolution, then your brain is working totally on a different way from the former. I don't know if you're following all this. Because you have set aside the importance of knowledge. Therefore, what is important is learning. Learning is not to accumulate. Learning. So, one begins to learn about fear. Whether man can ever live without fear. Because we must inquire into the otherwise you can't find the instrument. Whether you can live not only psychologically but deeply, most profoundly, whether the brain can ever find a place where it is no fear. We say there is such a thing.
How do you know that you're not fooling yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Because you begin with doubt. Doubt of everything you think, you feel. Doubt, question, probe into, say, whether you are really, when you say there is a sense of freedom from fear, is that real? So you watch, you question, you look. So you never accept a thing. Therefore there is no authority. Because man has sought security in authority. The church, the religions, and so on. So when one rejects all that as being the invention of thought and therefore limited and so on, then your brain now is not cluttered up, is not conditioned by time. I don't know if you're following all this. Look.
So it's a matter of recreating one's intention?
Not intention. There is no intention in this. You see, that's why intention implies thought. I intend to do something. I intend to become a business owner. It's still the very word creates the element of time. So one must be very, very careful in the usage of words.
Rigorous.
No, yes, rigorous. And the word must be understood by others, not your own meaning you give to words. Time we understand. Thought we understand. And we understand thought has come to its end. That's very difficult to accept for most people. Because they don't want to think, they don't want to look. They want, please tell me how to escape. The entertainment industry is now rampant. Footballs, cinemas, all the religious ceremonies are entertainments.
Well, clearly there's a lot of desire to escape what we see as the world around us.
So to find out if there is another instrument, you have to exercise your capacity, your way of living.